So we're in your culinary book and we're now in chapter 4 and we're going to get into consumer education. So that's when we go and buy our food, right? So let's start with meal management, planning a menu. So good meal management involves planning and careful thought to develop a nutritious menu with healthy and appealing meals. Planning menus a week at a time has been advantageous. That means the beginning of the week, a lot of times it's good to plan your meals for the whole week, especially if you have a family. Now, I don't always do that, of course, and of course your mom doesn't always do that, but it's a good thing to do. And when you get in the habit, it's actually better because then you don't have to go shopping like once a week. So this reduces stress, but so you don't have to make last minute decisions. And a lot of times meal planning helps to use all your leftovers so you don't have to throw them away or to use the food that you have, right? Extra trips to the grocery store are time consuming and they can allow consumers, individuals making purchase to use sales to their best advantage. So basically that's saying, if you have to go to the grocery store all the time, you're going to spend more money on groceries, right? But if you plan, you won't. Make a list. So advanced planning can eliminate the need for extra trips. So having to go to the grocery store all the time or to get a food cart or, to come to your house. So anyway, so you use your meal plans guides just like using your My Plate, like that plate to guide your food, what kind of food you need in each meal. So you make sure you have those 4 food groups and any added food such as desserts and everything. You add them in limited sugars, right? To have your family have a healthy diet. So typically this meal plan includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dinner sometimes is called supper. When I grew up, we called it supper. But then I learned as we went to California, people called it dinner. So, and then also snacks. Snacks are important, especially for teenagers to have snacks. Or kids. So, breakfast provides the energy you need to start your day. So it's pretty important that breakfast should be it should be the most important meal of the day, it says here. So breakfast should be a good meal because you're breaking your fast of the night, right? So a typical breakfast might include enriched or whole bread, cereal, good cereal with or proteins such as eggs, meat, yogurt or milk, and fruit. The lunch and dinner meals are also important. Lunch and dinner should include at least 1 serving from each of the group on My Plate, right? So, and first they decide on the main dish. Your main dish may be a protein meat, or a meat alternative, and then complementary side dishes that go to the side for your vegetables and such. It says, in addition to planning the meals that are nutritious, plan meals that will be very appealing. Does your family like this kind of food? So if you're buying something and they're not going to like it, and you have to have them sit all day to try to eat their food and they won't, or throwing it away, it's not a good. So try to plan food that everyone likes and making it appealing. Let's go through some of these tips. I love going through these tips, don't you? Planning the meal. When planning the menu for a meal, vary the following elements to make the meal more appealing. Color. So every plate should include colorful elements. 2 simple ways to add color are by using colorful fruits and vegetables and adding certain garnishes to the plate. So color is important. Flavor is important. A meal should have contrast in taste. For example, sweet and sour. They contrast, so that makes a contrast. They're not a whole big plate full of sweet or a whole big plate full of sour. When planning a menu, think about the flavor of each item. Some flavors complement each other and contrast in a pleasant way, and some don't. So plan a meal that does not have too many foods with mild flavors or too many foods with strong flavors. Have them contrast. Texture. Add foods of varying texture to each meal, including some soft foods and some crispy foods or crunchy foods. Bring in that contrast again. Shape and size. You don't think about shape and size, do you? Foods that are all the same size and shape may look odd when they're put together on a plate, and they don't have a very good eye appeal. For example, a bunch of meatballs, Brussels sprouts, baby new potatoes, and a hard roll would all be round, and they don't look very good together. So vary your size and shape. Temperature. Serve foods at the correct temperature and include foods that are intended to be served at different temperatures. But anyway, it's good to have, it could be temperature, those things that are hot and those things that are cold. If you have a really hot meal, you may want to have a cold drink with it. So garnishes. Garnishes are an easy way to enhance the appearance. If you want to make your plate look really beautiful, you put a garnish on it. Use simple edible garnishes. Don't put something inedible on. Use an edible garnish. And keep the amount of food in mind. Garnishes should not overpower the menu. Items be very small. Garnishes not very big. So let's go on to budgeting. Budgeting, it's important that we don't spend a lot of money on things we don't need to, especially when it comes to, to going to the grocery store and buying our groceries. So budgeting, time and energy, it says, are also valuable commodities. Your time is important. Budget your time and even your energy in doing something. So a wise meal manager will use time, energy, and money carefully. Time is a valuable resource, and there are many ways to budget time when preparing meals. Start by collecting simple recipes so you know what kind of recipes you want to use and efficient ways of preparing them. And then it's good to be able to prepare one-dish meals or casseroles. A lot of times, in a crock pot or so is a good thing, in the morning, and it'd be done by evening. Both frozen and canned vegetables cook more quickly than fresh vegetables, but they require less preparation, but because there's a higher nutrition value in frozen than canned. Canned vegetables have a lot of salt in them, so canned vegetables may not be that good. So plan meals in advance is a key thing to do, and that will save time. It says there are many ways to save energy. Knowing where, when, and how to shop. You know exactly where you're going to go shopping, how much time it gets there, how much time you're going to be in that grocery store. You can budget your time and energy. While working in the kitchen, stay very organized. This helps. If you have really unorganized, it's going to take a longer time and a lot more energy. And make sure you clean everything up as you go. Always, if you're going to cut meat, then clean the meat up before you put vegetables on the plate, or you're going to get salmonella or something. So stay clean. Clean up after each thing that you're doing to prepare for a meal. Let's go. Ingredients, get all your ingredients together before you do your recipe. Make sure you have everything. And this will help you get organized. And to save money, plan simple meals and purchase only what you need. Don't purchase a whole bunch of extra. Say, let's get this whole pack of stuff if you're going to waste half of it. Use the sales at the grocery stores to help you plan your menu. So if you see something that's on sale, oh man, this is on sale. Let's get this and let's plan our meal around this because it's, we're going to save some money here. Since fresh foods are less expensive when they are in season, whenever you have something in season, it's a good time to buy, like corn. It's corn season right now. Let's put some fresh corn on the cob in our meal, and it's very cheap because it's in season. So try to use foods and especially vegetables and fruits that are in season. Of course, if they're out of season, they're going to be more expensive and they're not going to be as good. Foods are also more plentiful and are higher in quality and have better flavor when they're used when they are in season. Better flavor too. I love fresh corn on the cob in season. So don't just purchase foods because they have a good brand name or generic names. Brands are sometimes just as well. Just because, I heard about this. This is a good brand name, whether it's Kellogg's or whatever, Brand names, we don't have to go by brand names. Convenience foods, items that have been partially or completely prepared already before you purchase them. And they can be an important tool that can be used for you to budget your time, money, and energy, but know the advantages and disadvantages of convenience foods. Although most convenience foods cost more than homemade foods, the time saved may be worth the cost. Some exceptions, such as frozen orange juice, concentrate, and certain baking mixes, save both time and money. They send, of course, some of those things can save time because you don't have to, orange juice is important because you don't have to have a juicer. It takes a lot of time, right? So compare the appearance and the taste of homemade and convenience, homemade items or convenience. So let's see. Time-saving tricks. I don't know why I have all this highlighted. I must have highlighted it by accident, but it says, one of the best ways to save time preparing meals is to prepare food in advance that can be used through the week. So whether by preparing ingredients that need to be combined, maybe you have something that's prepared, then you can combine the ingredients later to the meal. Pre-cooked or leftover chicken, ham, turkey, and other meat can be divided among several meals in a week. So you can take this, make sure you don't let it expire and keep it too long. So leftovers should last a couple days. After being divided into portions with enough for a meal, these meats can be used in many types of dishes, like you can add meats to pasta dishes or soups or sandwiches or casseroles. Another way to save time and energy is to prepare produce before it is needed. Many types of vegetables can be washed and chopped and way before and left in the refrigerator for several days. They can also be frozen for a longer period of time. So, however, vegetables such as spinach, green beans, Brussels sprouts will need to be blanched by boiling them briefly and then cooling them in ice water before you can freeze them. So there's some vegetables you can't just freeze. Cooked vegetables can be pre-made by cooking a large amount of vegetables, and some can be saved and served with another meal. And side dishes can also be prepared ahead of time. Pre-cooked rice can be reheated. And rice is a good thing. You can use that right away. Or rice pudding. Basically, pre-cooked rice can be used in rice pudding, casseroles, and soup. So, and after being tossed in a little oil, cooked pasta can be frozen or refrigerated and then reheated for other meals. Mashed potatoes can be pre-made and reheated later too, and they may be used to thicken soup or make potato pancakes. So these are things you can do with leftovers. Before preparing a meal using one of these techniques, decide whether the quality of the food will remain high. That means if you do this, if you're going to use leftovers, make sure the leftovers are going to last and the quality will be high and worth, eating the leftover. Is it going to be good? Anything that's not, you need to throw away. Section 4.2 has purchasing groceries. So a good consumer. So food budgets. A good consumer gets the most value for each dollar that's spent at the grocery store. Being a good consumer requires what? Planning and starting with a food budget. That's very key, that you have a food budget. Basically, you can get together and get together with your monthly budget and actually put together a food budget. According to the USDA, the average American family spends about 10% of his income on food. However, a family's food needs depends on the size of the family, the gender and the age and activities of the family, about 10% of your income. Many factors affect food purchases, such as the amount of money available for food, skill in choosing foods within the family budget, shopping skills, time available for planning and preparing meals, and family likes and dislikes, and how much the family eats out. These are all important in your food budget. Eating out is going to cost more money unless you go to the grocery store and you don't eat, what you buy. Retail. And another important thing is to know where you should shop. There are many types of retailers. There's first of all a grocery store. A grocery store carry food items and healthcare items and personal items, groceries. And there's supermarkets. The supermarkets carry both food and non-food items and offer a variety of customer services. They carry more things. And then the superstore. It's a type of supermarket that generally carries a larger variety of non-grocery items. Superstore may be like a huge Walmart or a huge Target that has not only a supermarket, but it's a superstore for other things. And then on to warehouse stores, like Costco or Sam's Club. And they are typical large stores that sell items in large quantities, bulk items. So some stores are more specialized, like convenience stores are often easily accessible but charge higher prices because convenience stores have a lot of convenient items. Farmers markets also sell fruits and vegetables, but the selection is dependent on the season of farmers markets, right? Specialty stores like bakeries or butcher shops, they're good to go to too, but then you have to go to a variety of places, don't you? They provide special attention to customers, but can also, the specialty stores charge higher prices. So look into those specialty stores. Maybe they're better though. Maybe you like them better. Regardless of the type of store features should also be considered. Ask yourself the following questions. Is the store clean? Is the store neat? Does the store consistently stock a variety of brands? Does the store have convenient hours of operation? Is it open on the weekends? Is it open in the evenings? Is it located with reasonable travel distance? Is it close enough to your house? Are prices comparable to other stores? Does the store provide special services for customers? Like, delivering things and such? Choose a store with amenities that you find most beneficial. So one store might not be ideal for all items. It's like go to a grocery store and get everything. Maybe you need to go to a couple of grocery stores. Grocery store psychology. So what does that mean? Here we go. She's really happy, isn't she, there at the grocery store? So talks about shoppers. Of course, grocery stores, they want shoppers to buy more things. So the florals and the baked goods are usually bright colors and the fresh fruits, and they have water coming down on the fresh fruits that appeal to your senses. And they smell like good smells right in front of the store. Maybe cinnamon smells or, if it's Christmas smells or anyway. Those are all important in advertising. And the whole and healthier foods are found around the perimeter of the store. So if you really want to just be really healthy, stay on the outside of the store. That's where all your fresh fruits and vegetables and your healthy foods are on the outside. Staple items like dairy and eggs are usually way to the back because they know that people need dairy and eggs. So they put them way to the back so that you have to walk all the way through the stores and look around. Maybe you might buy some other things. So, and end caps. End caps are those areas that you're wandering around, you turn around and there's an end cap and it's something, I would like to get that. So they place these end caps near eye level so that you can all of a sudden, wow, I should buy this because it's right there. Those things that they think that you'd like to buy. They even place food items for children at the children's height. So the children will walk around at their height. They'll say, ooh, look, I would like to get some of these Skittles or whatever they are. So also a bright colored sign will alert you to sales. So as you go in, you'll see these bright colored signs. Wow, 50%, buy one, get one free, those kind of things. Those are signs they put. Stores will try to keep you in the store as long as they can because they know the longer you're in the store, the more money you'll spend, right? So plan for success, right here. Plan for success. To help you overcome the temptations to purchase items you don't want or need, try to follow these guidelines when you're shopping. First of all, plan to shop by yourself and do not shop when you're hungry. If you're shopping with a bunch of kids and stuff, you're going to buy more, right? Or don't, when you're hungry, I'm starving. You go in there. If I'm starving, I go in the store, I'm going to buy a lot of stuff because everything looks good. And shop soon after the store announces their weekly sales so that items will be more likely in stock. So when they say, oh, we have a sale, get in there right away because they'll say we have a sale, oh, we're all out. So to shop when the store is less crowded, shop midweek is usually better because a lot of people have to shop on the weekend, but if you can shop midweek, it'll be more enjoyable than a crowded store. Online shopping and delivery service have become time savers for many shoppers. So, but again, you're probably going to spend more money doing that, because of the delivery fee, right? So, and also with online and delivery service, you have less control over expiration dates. They can decide to get you whatever. If something's going to expire right away, oh, we better give them that, right? And sometimes the food that they pick for you may not be as fresh as you would pick. So you got to consider these things when you're having delivery services or you're shopping online. This part says make a list. Hey, here's some lists right here, right? Make a grocery list. List will help prevent you from impulse buying. Say, I just need to buy these things on my list and check them off, instead of going in there and buying a whole bunch of stuff that we really don't need at that point. And an easy way to list is to keep a notepad or whiteboard in the kitchen. So when you're in the kitchen, you have a notepad. Oh, I'm going to need this. Oh, I see that I need some more. Vegetables, or I need some more baking soda, or I need some more. And you can write these things. A whiteboard in the kitchen is kind of good. You can just write it down. Okay, I'll make sure that I put these on my grocery list. So, and you write down these items when the supply is low so that okay, I don't want to run out of, I'm running out of eggs, so I'm running out of cheese, Plan a menu for the week and check the recipes for needed agreements. When you're getting your plan for the week, your menu, you want to check to see that you have all the ingredients so you don't have to run to the grocery store at the last minute. And here's a grocery list. And then, of course, you can make a grocery list on your cell phone pretty easily. So always check the supplies in your kitchen so you make sure that, I do have some, especially if you have spices, and you're looking, man, do I have chilies? Or do I have a chili spice or do I not? Do I have paprika or some kind of spices? I can't think. Cinnamon, those things. Look to see before so that you're not buying extra when you go to. So here's organize your list into categories. Compare the cost of different forms of food. So take your list and you can organize them in categories so you don't have to run all over the whole grocery store. A master list on the computer can easily be updated for each shopping trip. Apps are available that will organize it for you. I don't know anything about that, but that might be fun, so you can figure out your pricing. You can actually adjust and share with your family to allow others shopping as well. You can say, would you like me to get you something, and put it on your list. So there's a lot of different ways. A handwritten list is good, or else a computer list. Organize your list into categories. So you want to put them into categories like produce, dairy, put them into categories. And once you're familiar with the store, you'll know exactly where to go to get the dairy, to get the produce, to get the bread, so you'll know exactly. So put them in categories so you're not running all over the store, like I said before. Picking up your groceries in the proper order is also important because it promotes efficiency and organization. To keep items at their best quality until you get home, plan a traffic pattern through the store as you go through the store that allows you to pick up like produce and canned goods and bottle, and pick up the ice cream last. Pick up the freezer and refrigerators last, especially if you have 30 minutes before you get home and those things are going to thaw out. So say, okay, we're going to get the freezer things and we're going to get our cold things last so they stay cold. So here it tells an orange packed on, sell by weight. This is all on, your price tag. I bet you know that. So place items with the earliest expiration dates closer to the front of the refrigerator, freezer, or pantry. This will help you use them. So if they're going to expire sooner, make sure you put them close to the front. So make sure you use them before they expire. So evaluating the cost. Avoid becoming a victim of false economy. Thinking you are saving money or getting a good deal when you're really spending more money or spending unnecessarily. Use coupons only for items you usually buy or want to buy. Say, okay, I got a coupon for this, so I should buy it. And you really don't want it, right? Compare other brand prices and other prices to make sure you're getting the best deal, right? Compare the cost of different forms of food, like fresh peaches, maybe less expensive than canned peaches, that kind of stuff. Evaluate the cost. When fresh peaches are in season, they may be cheaper and better. So the wise consumer recognizes the true bargains. It's not just coupons. So compare prices of similar items to buy. To do this, calculate the price. The unit price shows the price per ounce or per pound or per individual serving. That's the unit price. To find the unit price, divide the total price by the number of units within the package. So say you have you bought a package of eggs, 12 eggs in a dozen, and then the price is now it's pretty expensive. We'll say it's $3.50 or $5.50. Then you can divide it by 12 and find out exactly how much one egg costs or how much one apple costs or whatever that unit price. Just divide it easily. That's easily done, especially on your calculator. So when shopping for meat or poultry or fish, evaluate the cost of the items. The basis for comparison may be cost per serving rather than unit price. But the unit price will help you determine the cost. Meat is a big one because you look on there and you say, man, this meat here, this steak here, filet mignon, it's going to cost me $75, So you look and see, well, let's look at the price for meat. So you look at the price per pound or that price. So you look and say, oh man, the price of filet mignon is like, weighs, $5 a pound. And if I look at, another type of steak, New York steak, or maybe not even New York steak, you look at this, I'm trying to think of the name of the steaks, the Papu Fix, can't even think of the name, but the smaller steaks or the different packaged steaks, you can see the price and you think, well, this steak tastes just as much, just as good. Tri-tip. Tri-tips are very delicious and they don't cost like filet mignon. So, and you look at the raw meat packaged with bone and skin because you want to take off the bone and skin. If the bone and skin are included in the weight of it, that's why it's cheaper because it has a lot of bone and skin for you to take off, right? You must trim the meat before. So all these things are important factors to determine whether something's a bargain or not. So you can be a good consumer and you can shop wise and you can save. So it says, which would be better, a 12-ounce package of pasta or a 16-ounce package for $2.25? So you can fix. There's a lot of different things. If we took this and said 12 ounces or 16 ounces and divide it out, and then we could find out the price per ounce to see which one would be better, right? So you get your calculator, take 12 ounces and divide that $1.58 by 12 ounces and see how much it is per ounce. Take 16 ounce of package and divide by 225 and see how much that is per ounce. Then you can find out which is the better deal. So important. So that's it. And we're going to go on now to table setting and meal service. So that's going to be fun.